A dry erase bulletin board, a take-along tote, hanging pot, and recycled pin. All very practical ideas for crafting every day, today on Hands On.
Hands On is made possible by Elmer's Products Incorporated, manufacturers of a variety of adhesives, arts and crafts, and office products for use at home, school, or business. Elmers.com. Floracraft Foam. Make it fun. MakeItFunCrafts.com.
Crafting for fun is great, but you can take your projects one step further when you make them useful. Hi, I'm Candie Cooper, and today's projects are practical ideas for every day, starting with this dry erase bulletin board. This would be great on the door for your room, or maybe in the kitchen to leave messages. Let's see what else we need to make it. You'll need some holographic foam board, some dry erase foam board, double stick tape, some tacks, a craft knife, ribbon, paint pens, decorative washi tape, some glitter pens, and a metal ruler, some thick craft glue, and some scissors. Let's get started. The first thing I want to show you is actually just how to cut foam board. And I've got a little sample piece right here. You'll cut your board in whatever dimensions you want. It's really important that you have parental supervision on this because craft knives are sharp, and you want to make sure that you have a protective surface below your work. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make my measurements, and I'm just going to cut a little 3-inch strip here. So you mark it in 2 places, and then you use your ruler to line up the 2 3-inch spots. And then I'm going to use the craft knife to cut the first layer of foam. You can't cut the entire foam in one slice. You have to take a few. And this is something that you probably want to get an adult to help you with. So I'm just making another slice and one more. And then it should be ready. Let's put the lid back on the craft knife to just snap apart. Not snapping. Let's take one more cut. And there we go. Okay, so when you're ready, you can have your pieces all ready to go. And the first thing you're going to do is trim out your piece and tape. And this is an actual printed paper tape. It adds just a little bit of character to your board, and it's easily repositionable. So if you get it in the wrong spot, you can scoot it to where you need it. And then I'm just going to cut the ends, and then come down here on this side. And you can put a couple borders on if you want, because it comes in all different prints. Let's come out here. And okay, and then we're good to go. And then I just want to show you another quick idea is to take a second color, and I'm just going to add a strip of tape right here, and that frames up your boards really nice. and gives them a nice finished look. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is stick it to the holographic piece. And I've gone ahead and added 1 strip of double stick tape. We're going to put a second piece down at the bottom. And what you do is just pull off your pieces like so, and then flip it over, line it up so that you have a nice even border around, and then push it into place. You can also use a permanent marker to outline your tape, like so, and you just want to use your straight edge again and make a line. And then you would do this for all 4 sides. Another thing you can do to add a little glitz is with a glitter pen, on some of the polka dots, just add some little dots, like so. And you would just do this for the entire border. You could also add some squiggles around the outside edge, whatever you want. Okay, when you are finished with that, you'll have something that looks almost like this. You'll want to use some thick craft glue to attach a ribbon to the back. And then I just want to show you how this, the dry erase markers work. You want to make sure they're dry erase, but you can just doodle all over your board, leave your important messages, and just wipe them off with a paper towel. Let's take a look at our finished board behind me. This is going to be great for the outside of a door or inside your room. Carry this tote to camp or just use it for an extra seat outside in the backyard. This would be great for sitting around the fire, wouldn't it? Let's see what else we need to make it. You'll need some wooden beads, felt letters and embellishments. I've got some animal stickers and some foam stickers in garden theme, some letter stencils, and some permanent markers, foam, scissors, and some really strong tape. Okay, I just wanted to show you some ideas for how you could take a plain bucket like this one and embellish it and make it your own. So the first thing I want to show you is how to use these stencils. And when you get them, they'll be completely filled and you'll just pop out the letter parts and then just put them wherever you like. I'm using a couple pieces of tape to hold them so it makes tracing a little bit easier. You can use your initials or you can spell out your whole name. And you're just going for a faint line here. You don't need anything too heavy, just some guides. Nice and easy. Okay. And then you're just going to pull off the stencil, and you can see I've got a really faint pencil line. And I'm just going to come around and fill this in like so. And you can see on the finished sample that I actually drew a couple squares first and then layered the stencils on top. So you can even double layer your markers, especially if you use a light color like yellow or an orange underneath and then a darker color for your initials. And these are permanent markers, so they'll stay in place like that. Okay, you can also just freehand doodle. So I might add some little vines. And then you can take it up a notch and embellish with these cool foam stickers. And I just want to show you these felt stickers. They don't really go with my garden theme, but I love that felt elephant. It's so cute. Okay, another thing you can do is put some lacing around your handle. I didn't do this one because this one because it's for my nephew, but I wanted to fluff this one up a little bit. So you can use the plastic lacing, and all you would do is tie one big piece in a knot, and then you would use a square knot pattern over the top. And we're doing a twist on this one. So you would just put the right tail over the left, and then put the tail on the left, under, and through the right. And you'll be able to find these instructions on the website, and then just pull it snug. And you would do that for the remaining of the handle. The other thing you might do is add some wooden beads at the end of your tassels. That would look really cute. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to make a little gear bag. Let me set this aside. And you can see on mine here, I've cut it a little short, but you can use more felt embellishments to spell out gear. Okay, lastly, I want to show you how to make the seat cushion. And for this, you're going to need a little bit of foam and a lid for your bucket, or else you're going to fall right into the middle of it. And I've gone ahead and traced around the lid with the permanent marker, and I've been cutting at this. Don't worry if you get jig-jaggy edges like I have here. You're not going to see it. So then you're just going to cut the rest, and then lay that on top of your bucket lid. And then you're going to secure it in place with this decorative industrial tape. And we'll start at the edge. I like to let mine fold over a little bit, like so, and push it up in. And you want to start in the middle, just to give it one point of being really secure. Then come to the back, trim it, and then tuck that in. Now let's make a stripe. You can choose your favorite colors, whatever you like. It's really sticky. Okay. And you're just going to lay this over, like so. Let's set it like that. And you can also make a little snip and tear this tape. And what this is going to do is make it so if you're sitting for long hours, you're not going to be so sore. It's going to make you a nice cushy surface. And it's nice and protected from possibly rainy days camping. So I want to show you around on the finished sample, you would just keep running tape back and forth for the entire length of the seat, and then to give it a nice finished look, put a piece of tape around the side, and that gives it a nice finished look. Let's take a look here. And you can see how that just is all one piece. So let's take a look at the gear bag one last time. And you can see I just cut it where I wanted my zipper to end, and that left a nice gaping hole. So I just put tape down the sides of it to seal it up. And then I've got my bobbers in there, a flashlight, whatever you need. And you're set to go on a really fun day trip or camping trip or just around the fire in the backyard. These clay hangers would make a great room decoration and even a bird feeder. Let's take a look. I've got a few different examples here. Here's one where I've just used sort of a bowl form, and then I've got another one that I sculpted into the shape of a bird and used real feathers for the tail. Let's take a look at what we need to make them. Some feathers, perhaps, jute cord, some air dry clay, or some natural clay. This is the kind that I used to build the bird in. Some ceramic tiles, wax paper, permanent markers, a bowl, some acrylic paints, some clear school glue, a rolling pin, and I think we're ready to get started. Today I'm going to be using the air dry clay, but you can find the instructions for the bird on our website and details for that clay. The first thing you're going to do is cut a piece of wax paper so you can cover your bowl. And it doesn't have to be taped or anything, you just want it so that when we lay our clay over it, it doesn't stick. The next thing you're going to do is pull off a handful of clay, and then you're going to use kind of your hands to pat it into a circle and kind of smush it out to get your bowl shape started. Now, it doesn't have to be any particular shape. These are what we call free form bowls, and it's kind of a surprise what shape it'll be, which makes it super fun. So once you get it kind of patted out with your fingers, then you can use a rolling pin. I recommend finding a secondhand rolling pin to use only for crafts. You don't want to use your one for rolling sugar cookies or something like that. And you're just going to keep rolling, and I kind of like to pick up my piece and turn it and work the clay in different directions. And you might end up with a square bowl before it's all said and done, who knows? But you want to roll it so it's about a 1/2 inch to somewhere in between a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch thick. And it doesn't even have to be evenly rolled. I'm going to go a little bit more. One more this direction. I think we're ready to start shaping it into a bowl. Okay, I've got kind of a squarish bowl going. All right, when you have your, we call this a slab. When you have your slab rolled out, you're going to just lay it over your bowl form and then kind of just push it into shape, like so. I'm gonna need some texture from my rings, and that's okay. You can leave those in, or you can dip your finger in some water and smooth them out, like so. You could also use a plastic knife to kind of trim your shape to get it more even if you want to. I like mine free form, and so I think I'm ready to move on to the next step. You want to just leave this to dry, just like it is. After a couple hours, then you'll want to take it off and turn it over and let the inside part dry. And you can see I'm even picking up texture from the wax paper. I love that. Okay, so oh, I almost forgot. I want to push some clay tiles down into this. So we're just going to use the bowl shape on this side to do that. You can push it down in, and that holds our bowl shape still. And then I've got these neat little ceramic tiles that I can embed into the clay. And you could use glass marbles, whatever you like. I love these little flower shapes. And you can do a random pattern, or you can do an organized pattern. But you'll just want to leave that to dry so they're nice and secure. And then you'll have something that looks like this. Now we're ready. Now I've gone ahead and painted half of mine, and I just wanted to show you that you can use a little bit of acrylic paint on these, along with some water, and mix that in a little bit. And what that's going to do is give you a little bit of what we call a wash, which is just watered down paint. One thing, I've got a couple ideas over here. If you want to just have your pot sitting on the table, you will not need to put holes in it. But if you want to make a hanging pot, you'll want to use something like a toothpick before it dries to poke some holes in so you can hang it. And I'm just going to keep painting this. And the other reason we use a little bit of water when we're painting this clay surface is because there's lots of cracks and crevices. And what happens is with running your paint, it lets it just soak right down into the edges, like so. And that gives you a nice coat. When I was in Italy, I saw all sorts of hand-painted pottery, and I was really inspired, and that's how I ended up creating this bowl. And I'm almost ready. And now I've got my bowl coated, and I want to get around these tiles. Now, you can see that the paint is covering my tiles now, so you just want to use a little bit of water on the end of a paintbrush, and you can just wipe those clean. And if you remove too much paint in the process, you can go back in with your paintbrush and touch those areas up, and then just blot the paint. Okay, to highlight your edges, use a second brush and just go around and get on top. And you can, this just kind of pulls in your purple from your tiles. You could also use a pink. Okay, when you're finished, you're going to seal the pot with a clear school glue. And I've already got mine on the palette here, and I've actually gone ahead and sealed this one, but you can see, let me just do a little edge of it. You can see that makes it look nice and shiny, almost like a real fired ceramic piece. To embellish your tiles a little bit, you might want to use a marker to doodle on top. And you can draw some little squares, whatever you like. And then to finish it up, you'll want to just thread a piece of string into your pieces and grab some scissors. And you can string a bead on the end. And let's take a look at the finished one, but you're just going to string a bead, add a little knot, and then do that 4 or 3 more times. Bring it up, make an overhand knot, and it's ready to hang. For the bird pot, I shaped it with my hands. I didn't have to roll anything. I just started with a ball of clay and shaped it. Used the end of a toothpick to make some eyes and pinched a beak. And I poked some holes in where I wanted my feathers to go before it dried. And then once it was dry, I painted it and glued in my feathers. Save up those pop tabs. Practical crafts mean recycling supplies like this magnet made from pop tabs. Aren't these the cutest things ever? The petals and the components are actually made from pop tabs covered in glitter. Let's take a look at what else we need to make them. You'll need some craft felt, scissors, a crayon, a bottle cap, double-sided tape, magnet findings, acrylic gems, maybe some thick craft glue, and some glitter glue. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is cut a piece of freezer paper and a small piece of cardstock and cover it like so. And we're just going to use the double-sided tape to do this. And what this is doing is actually creating a non-stick surface. Freezer paper is really slick on one side, so you'll see in a minute why we need that, because we're using glue on top. And you would just do the same thing on the other side. And this will actually be our work surface. The next thing is you're going to grab your pop tabs, lay them out however you like. I love these because you can see pop tabs come in different shapes and sizes, so you'll want to be on the lookout for different tabs. And then you're just going to fill the tab with some glitter glue. It's that easy. And come down here, and when the glue comes out, it kind of self-levels, so it'll kind of coat the whole tab evenly. And let's do one more with some gold. The other thing I'm making the flower magnet today, so the other thing I need to do is fill up one bottle cap with glue. Now this is going to take a little bit of time to dry, so let's work on our other components for our magnet. You'll need a couple leaves, and you can find the patterns for these on our website. And you'll also need a felt circle. Now, depending on what your shape, since we're making the flower, this is what we have, but I'm going to show you on the peace sign here that you may want to put other shapes of felt behind when you're building your own designs. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is build your flower shapes. And you can add some leaves, like so. And then let's flip this over, and we'll put our smaller leaves on the outside, like so. And then we're going to put our bottle cap in the center. I'm using this thick glue since I'm working with mixed materials like plastic and felt. And then we're going to start adding our bottle cap petals. And you can see when I have the finished ones that they're stuck on there, but they just peel off because of that slick freezer paper. You'll need 7 or 8 to make this flower. And you're just going to add a line of glue. And this glue dries clear, so if you have any oozing out from the sides, don't worry. You won't be able to see it. And you'll just keep adding your tabs. Another detail you might want to use are these acrylic gems. And I want to show you a trick that is really easy for adding them to tiny spaces like this center. Use a crayon. Just push it down at the end of your gem, on top of your gem, and then just use your finger to remove it and tap it into place, like so. And remember that glue will dry clear. And then you would just continue adding petals around the outside, and then remove the sticker from your magnet. You may even add a little bit of glue just to make sure it's really stuck on there. Put it on the back, and you've got a cute flower magnet. Let's take a look at the other designs. We've got this peace sign like I showed you earlier, this cute little ladybug, and of course our flower. And you could also make these into pins. Thanks for watching. Remember to visit the website for these ideas plus tons of other great projects. Hope you'll join me next time as Hands On celebrates birthdays, yours and mine too.
Projects and ideas from today's show, plus hundreds of other kids' craft projects for every occasion, season, and even school subject, are available on the web at craftsforkids.com. This is show 1509. Hands On is made possible by Elmer's Products Incorporated, manufacturers of a variety of adhesives, arts and crafts, and office products for use at home, school, or business. Elmers.com. Floracraft Foam. Make it fun. MakeItFunCrafts.com.